In the old times, being pale was seen as a sign of royalty and wealth because it meant you stayed home all day, being looked after, being given everything, not having to do a single thing, thus being pale and rich. In modern times, however, being pale is seen as a sign that you have no friends to go out in the sun with, or that you have no melanin in your body, or both, like me. But all that doesn't matter when you're here, when you're in the 21st century, because you and I can both fake tan. And because I know the internet can be a sensitive place, I just want to state that I have been rocking my pale skin for the last 21 years, and I love pale skins and I think they look great, but I also want to fake tan in the summer because I find that clothes and makeup look better on me, and I don't want the harmful UV lights from the sun. I have a very mole prone skin, if that's a thing. I get moles, I get freckles, and I just would rather avoid radiation altogether, and I find that tanning is a very safe way to do that. Because fake tanning binds externally with skin molecules that are going to shed and come off in a week or so, it is much less harmful than UV radiation from the sun, and I would just fake tan any day over sun therapy. Just a quick note, I have something to announce. In case you didn't know, this is actually my first YouTube video and I was editing it for a week and it's still cringy as hell. So please bear with me and be nice in the comments because I am trying my best. This is harder than I thought. And also, it would mean the world to me if I can reach 10 subscribers. I am so close, I only need 9. So please don't say 9, say we. Thank you very much. To get your perfect tan, you first need to shave if you want, no pressure, but it ensures a smoother application of the tan. And the optimum time to do this is 1 day before you apply your tan because you allow time for your pores to close and not trap any residue in them. I recommend using a men's razor because they are superior to women's razors, which are kind of pointless because I happen to have more hair than any man, and I know. And you might also potentially avoid the pink tax which you pay on feminine products because you happen to have been born a woman. When you shave, use light to medium pressure and go against the grain to remove the hair effectively, and make sure that your knee is bent because you don't want to take a razor to the knee. Moving on to the most important step of this whole process is the exfoliation. It's very important because since the tan binds externally with your skin cells, you have to get rid of all the dead skin cells that are there to boycott your tanning process. You can do this with a loofah, exfoliating gloves, or with the pure force of your hands using a cream with some small particles that are designed to exfoliate your skin. You can even use Himalayan salts or any other type of salts that will most probably dissolve in your hand and dissolve your skin as well. But any type of exfoliating cream or shower gel will do the job. I'm using this body scrub by The Body Shop today because I have no other cream to use. It is probably expired, but it will do the job because it has those little particles. You want to apply a liberal amount to your hand. This will be either on your gloves or on your hand, but make sure you really get in all the crevices and nooks and corners and hidden angles of your body and explore it like no man has ever done to find all the places that need exfoliating. Particular areas to note are dry areas because these will soak up the most product. So these are around the knees, around the ankles. For me, it's also on the shin of the leg, on the toes. These areas need a lot of exfoliating. You really need to exfoliate like you've never exfoliated before. And if you think you're done exfoliating, you have to exfoliate some more and then some more. And if you don't exfoliate properly, your tan and all your efforts will go to waste because the dead skin cells are going to come off in the next 2 or 3 days, and there go your hopes and dreams of being a tan goddess. So the hard work needs to be done now. you need to exfoliate really well, all over your body and anywhere you can imagine. Elbows are another really important body part you have to notice, because even when tanning they do soak up a lot of the product. The elbows are really tricky, you have to pay really close attention to them. Basically, just hug yourself in a way that your crush has never done. Another important thing is to avoid using any deodorant in this stage. Nothing new for me, because I'm stinky. You don't want the oils to interfere with the tanning process and create patches in your underarms, because you know that's a very erogenous zone and people might be turned off by you having patchy underarms. You have to keep them sexy. As I said before, the ankles, the knees and the elbows are something like the black holes, because they absorb everything, and I have no idea, but they do, and you don't notice until it's too late. So make sure you lather those areas up very well. The moisturizer will act as a barrier between those dry areas and the tan, and so less will be absorbed and you will become indeed a tanned goddess with no patches and sexy underarms. The black one is the best one to use. It is the standard velvety one with the finger hole, whereas the other meat is the cheap alternative that doesn't do such a good job and also gets some tan through the meat in your hands. This one, it's almost sparkly, you can see it. Oh wait, that's dust. Well, it does the job perfectly. My legs, I'm using 2 to 3 pumps initially, just to get the color guide on and be able to see where I've put the tan. The darker the tan I want, the more times I go over it with the pump. I avoid the ankle and the knee area for now, and I'm going to show you later how I tackle those. I drag the product from the bottom of my leg until below my knee, and I avoid my knee and ankle areas for now, and I'm going to show you later how I tackle those. For my thighs, I use 2 to 3 pumps, and if I need more, I come back to it later. I use 3 pumps for the front of my tummy, and I drag it from infinity to beyond, because I like my tummy to be extra tanned. I do this in front of a mirror so I can clearly see where I have applied the tan and what spots I have missed. The back is a very tricky area, because if your hands are not a bit dislocated, like there are spots you might miss, but then again the back is also one of the few places you have some leeway. If you do struggle with it and you're a perfectionist or you have OCD and you can't bear your back not being as tanned as the rest of your body or having missed a spot, then I recommend Bondi Sands' tool, which is like a long back scratcher but with a mitt attached to the end. So that does the job really well. Or I've heard of people who use their straightening irons as back scratchers, and they attach one of the gloves to one of the metal plates and they turn it into like an impromptu back scratcher with a glove. So if you're resourceful, do that, because that's very interesting and very smart. And for the love of God, please don't forget to tan your underarms. That's where a lot of people miss, and it just looks ridiculous when you wave someone goodbye and they are blinded by your paleness in your underarms, and you also blow your cover. Here I am dislocating my arm to tan my back. Using a beauty blender or a sponge or some kind of fluffy brush to go over all those areas that we left behind has proven to be the best solution that I have found that helps me with the over tanning and over absorbing in these areas. The amount on the sponge is very much controlled, and so are the movements I do to get my tan perfect in these areas. Also, by the time I apply the product, most of it has been absorbed by the sponge and the brush, and so I have no fear that I will look ridiculous. As you can see, I've also left my neck for this part, because sometimes the glove deposits a lot of the tan in my neck corners and in my jawline, which I hate. If you follow these steps, then you will also get the perfect and flawless tan every time. If you don't, you can sue me. I'll now show you a close-up of my chest and upper body. Use a dark bikini when you do this, or no bikini at all if you don't like the tan lines. This is my leg. It is tanned. This is my leg in darker exposure. It is more tanned. That's still my leg. And this is some baby powder I put on my legs in case I get sweaty behind my knees and in between my elbows. I recommend you do this. And this is the 1 day update. This is how the tan develops after 1 day of living in overnight. The color guide will wash off in the shower, but this is an approximation of what the color will look like. I can't stress this enough. If you want the tan to last, you have to moisturize in order to seal and lock in the tan and prevent it from fading away. That's one of the reasons why I also love tanning, is all this skincare routine that makes you feel amazing and leaves you very refreshed at the very end. And also very tanned. Ta-da! I went out yesterday and I felt so confident that I was tanned. So I hope you enjoyed the tips. I hope you put them to use. And if you do have any questions, please ask me in the comments down below, because I try to put everything in the video, but my memory is bad. And also feel free to send me pictures of your leg on Instagram. I swear I'm not a creep, just of your results. And see you next time.